Hi, I'm John Waterhouse, and this is Weekday Wisdom. My question for you today is, what do you see when you close your eyes? Now, that may sound like a strange question, but what I want to talk to you about is how you can work with your thinking. You can work with images and visualization to create a better life, especially during this pandemic, which has been frightening and overwhelming to so many people. Millions of people have lost their jobs, millions of businesses have closed. The last I heard, we were over 24 million infections and over 400,000 deaths all across the United States. And of course, that doesn't even include everything that's happened everywhere else in the world. At times like these, we may hear advisors suggest that we visualize success or that we imagine our greatest possibilities. And all that sounds really good, but is there actually any science behind these ideas of visualizing or imagining things? And the answer actually is yes. Although visualization was long regarded as just some kind of new age hype, it has now followed some strong scientific study that says that it really does work. It's now a well-known fact that we stimulate the exact part of our brain when we visualize an action as when we actually perform the same action. For example, when you visualize lifting your right arm, it stimulates the same part of the brain as if you were actually lifting your right arm. This shared area of the brain activity helps us to imagine an action and perform it in the same way that it is done in physical form. Uh, we have extensive literature that has worked on this and studied this. There's a striking example of how visualization increases brain activity in people that have strokes. When a person has a stroke from a blood clot in the brain, blood can't reach certain tissue of the brain, and that artery, which fed oxygen and nutrients to it, it just withers. The tissue death then spreads to the surrounding area and does not receive any more blood. However, if a person with a stroke imagines moving the affected arm or leg or whatever, their speech, their blood flow in the affected area increases, and the surrounding brain tissue is not only saved but actually can replace that has been lost. Imagining moving a limb, either after it's been paralyzed by a stroke or by some other means, increases brain blood flow enough to diminish the amount of damage. This is a very clear indicator of the power of visualization. Athletes have known this for a long time. World-class athletes use imagery and visualization to improve their running times and their performance in field activities. Studies have shown that athletes first imagine running their race in a desired time, a better time probably than they've ever done. And by doing that in as much detail as possible, they're able to actually create that result in real time. One study showed that visualizations under hypnosis enabled nationally ranked Stanford male gymnasts to execute for the first time several complex maneuvers that they'd been working on for over a year. The gymnasts were able to eliminate timing errors, increase their flexibility, and concentrate their strength in specific muscle groups at just the right time. Another study showed that soccer players increased their confidence in succeeding when they visualized their moves. Visualization has also been shown to improve high jumpers clearing of the bar. So tell your brain your plan in 1,000 words, and what you're going to get is a bored brain, a brain that wants to go to sleep. But if you can conjure up a picture of what you want to experience, your brain will respond with a much deeper interest and attention. While this is all well and good, how can you apply this science to maximize your brain's potential during a pandemic? Well, I have 4 suggestions for you today. So let's just go through them. The first one is, if during the pandemic you have no idea how to act, start by imagining what you want. What you want will not come immediately, but imagining it will help it get started and get started more quickly. For example, if you want to start a home-based business, begin by imagining being in your home work environment. Close your eyes and image what that workspace looks like. Imagine who your customers are. What do they look like? What does the environment you work in sound like? Are there smells or tastes involved? If so, what are they? The more clearly and repetitively you can imagine the details, the more likely you are to create them. And if you have a setback in any part of your life, it's no time to give up. Keep the blood flowing to the brain area that will execute your actions by focusing your visualization on what you want. During times of high stress and uncertainty, people often focus on their fears. All this will do is create more blood flow to the regions that want to stop your actions. It does not mean that you will not succeed. It's valuable information that will help you change or refine your vision. So if you have a setback, don't stop focusing on what you want. Use that information, figure out what it was that happened, and use that to refine or change what you're visioning on. The third one is hypnosis works because it decreases anxiety and increases focus. Visualization is by design a form of self-hypnosis. When we start to visualize, we strive to construct the image within our mind that is free of worries, even when we have to sculpt it out of an artificial space to do it. That means that make it up and make it work in your mind so that it will happen in your life. Visualizing while worrying is like painting with a shaky brush. Calmness increases the creativity and authenticity of your brushstrokes. So use that in your visualization. If you find that the pandemic has eroded your confidence, use visualization on your goals to help increase your confidence. If you're going to give this a try, plan on taking some time every day and repeat your visualizations. Do it over and over and over again. As you imagine your outcome and process more clearly, your confidence will increase and it will influence every aspect of achieving what you want. These are just a few principles of visualization that can help anyone maximize their brain's capacity as we're all planning for growth, even during a pandemic. So remember, visualization is not just some hokey way of getting to your goals. These principles are grounded in science. And with all of the pandemic chaos that's going on, it is increasingly valuable to apply the palette of your mind to paint the pictures of what you desire. When you do this, your brain will act in accordance and your actions will align with your vision. So think about that and see what you can do with it. And in the meantime, have a fantastic day, and I'll see you again.